Attention writers, creators, and aspiring authors. It's time to go to the next level.
Pen Legacy will help you get there.
Offering the leverage toward every process.
When it comes to book publishing and coaching, nobody does it better than Pen Legacy.
Nobody does it better than Pen Legacy. Pen Legacy.
Welcome, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Awesome. Welcome to our Pen Legacy author celebration. Those who have follow me and just started following me know that I am very in tune and honored and love to celebrate those who invest and celebrate themselves when it comes to storytelling. So tonight we're actually celebrating 8 of our amazing authors that have either published with Pen Legacy or worked with Pen Legacy in some form of fashion, or have become a bestseller or a dynamic diva of the publishing world because of Pen Legacy, as I flip my hair. So tonight you're going to get the opportunity to meet them, hear how they got, started in the publishing business, their journey when it comes to being an author. Just in case if you yourself want to be a published author, you have best-selling authors on here, you have 6-figure authors on here, you have authors who've turned their books into deals on here. You name it. They were able to take a book and literally live in the life and lifestyle of their dreams. So to open up the floor, I would love for my Pen Legacy authors. I'm going to keep saying Pen Legacy authors, honey, because I owns my crew. Okay. So I would love to have our Pen Legacy authors to mute yourself and introduce yourself and your book. Let's keep it brief because we're definitely going to go into the questions where you'll be able to further enhance that conversation. So somebody can unmute yourself, or as I always do, if you don't, I will pick a name.
I'll go first.
Awesome.
My name is Charlotte Crumley Arrington, and I'm so blessed and so honored to be here. And Sharon, you're such a blessing and such a gift from God. So thank you so much for believing in the beauty of your dreams, because you are blessing a legion, and that's what it's about. And that's what I write my books about, following your dreams and doing what God put you here to do. My first book, The Message 108, this book is specifically about doing what God put you here to do and dealing with yourself to make yourself a better person so that you're open and that you can do those things that he put you here to do and be a blessing to people, because that's what it's about. And my second book, this is my fun, juicy book. It's called The Kissing Flight Attendant. And this book is for people that want to become flight attendants. I was a flight attendant for 15 years. I worked in the private sector, and I also worked in the commercial sector. So I worked with a lot of entertainers, politicians, presidents. So I put it all in here. And I also have some great stories about what really goes on the road. Some of the stories are juicy. It's an 18 and over book, but it's an excellent book and an excellent Bible if you want to become a flight attendant. And my next book that will be out September 6th is called Restoration 108. That's a beautiful book, but it is a series to this book, The Message 108. And the number 108 means it's time to do what you want to do. It's time to do what God put you here to do. Everything you've been working for, hoping for, and praying for, now's the time. So that's who I am.
Thank you, Charlotte. You know what? I'm gonna let the amazing Miss Evelyn Braxton, because I see she's already unmuted and ready hunting. Okay. Mama Bear, I'm gonna give the whole floor to you. Okay.
Thank you so much. My name is Evelyn Braxton. This is my first book, Cooking with Miss E, and I'm very proud of it. I've been working on this thing almost 10 years, but it took Sharon to bring it out. And so I am so appreciative of her. There was a lot of obstacles. However, this young lady, I'm telling you, she is incredible. I've not met anyone like her. And whatever she said, she will get it done. And she never stops. I don't know how she does it, but nevertheless, I'm so glad that God had connected me with this young lady. It's a long story, so I won't tell the long story because everybody have to have their chances. But not only that, but she's so encouraging. I mean, this girl is something else. I say I may not have given her birth, but she belongs to me. Okay.
For people that are watching this episode, Ms. Braxton, who do you say that person for you? Who is that person that you say that's finessing the game?
Sharon.
Mm.
See this book, and she's not the only one. I understand that. So I don't want anybody's feeling to be hurt.
Talk to our viewers about who Sharon is, because we know who she is.
You know who Sharon. You see this book? This girl worked so diligently with me to make sure that I get this out correctly.
Got it. Get it. Yes. Yes.
How about that?
How about that, honey?
How about that?
And before we go, Mama Bear, so before we go on, I need you to tell them where your book is right now. What were we just able to do, honey? Because we need people to go shopping.
But this book right now is in Barnes and Noble.
The store, honey.
School campuses. And so I am just so grateful. And it was #1 and all that good stuff. I'm like, look at God. So I'm going to do my signing September the 3rd.
At Onyx Bookstore. I got you, baby.
Absolutely.
Onyx Bookstore.
See, I told you, didn't I tell you she was
Covington,
wonderful? Go ahead, baby. You got this.
We'll put all the information about the signing on there, but definitely, I definitely honor you. And thank you for allowing me to take on that project and trusting me to still be here. How about that?
Thank you. Thank you for taking me on. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
It's been a pleasure. Who's next? Now, who wants to follow the Evelyn Braxton?
I'll go next.
Okay. Whoever's going. Who's going?
My name is Kennedy Ray, and my book is called Kennedy Meets the Vice President.
And how old?
And I'm 5.
Yeah.
Let's just all let's give the baby a hand clap, honey, because you have grown people that don't want to walk in their dreams. And this precious 5-year-old baby was like, look, we got to get this book done.
And then tell them what your next book is that you're working on.
My next book that I'm working on is called Kennedy Goes to Kindergarten.
Awesome. And when does that book come out, Miss Kennedy?
It comes up on
December
December
of this year.
of this year.
Yes.
Yeah.
Awesome. Now I'm actually tearing up. I love like having children follow their dreams. I love it. Thank you, Kennedy. Who's next?
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, somebody just talk. I'm done now.
I'll talk.
Work it out, Precious. I can't.
She's so hey everybody, who's ever went on the TMZ website?
Me to
Nobody
make sure
Nobody likes celebrity gossip.
I go on there to make sure I'm not on it.
Well, I will say this: TMZ ain't got nothing on me. My name is Precious Williams. I am the proud founder and CEO of Perfect Pitches by Precious. And I've been a professional speaker since I was 16 years old. Yeah, I'm 43, so that's 27 years. And in the time that it took me to get from 16 to 43, there are a lot of stories that people don't know about me. And so my newest book is called The Pitch Queen. I've been with Sharon for all 4 of my #1 best-selling books. Is that right, Sharon? Did I say it right?
You did, in that order.
In that order, all 4 #1 bestsellers. So my 4th book comes out on September 13th, 2022 under Sharon's tutelage. We've been featured in Forbes magazine, and I'm now the co-host and the pitch trainer for a new national television show called America's Real Deal. And so as I'm looking at this young Kennedy over here, when I was 5 years old, I knew I would have a billboard in Times Square and I knew it'd be on television. I didn't know the twists and turns it would take to get me here. I didn't grow up with connections. I didn't grow up. I grew up in the hood of St. Louis, Missouri. And so when we sat down to put together the Pitch Queen, it really was to share the journey that it ain't easy. There are twists and turns. There are people who will turn their backs on you, and you have to stay focused and stay on your grizzy. I love this woman, Sharon, because if she hadn't have pushed me to write my first book in 2.5 months, I wouldn't be here today. And so the Pitch Queen is coming out, get it. And I've had my other books are Bad Bees and Power Pitches. We have 2 young people on her, so I'm not gonna say the other word. Bad Bees and Power Pitches for women entrepreneurs and speakers only, reviewed by Forbes magazine. My second book is Bad Bees and Power Pitches, the workbook. And my third book was Pitching for Profit, the Bad Bees playbook for converting conversations into currency. And I'm just happy to be here. I got some things to announce tonight, so let's get it. Thank you all so very much. Precious Williams, Perfect Pitches by Precious, the Pitch Queen, 13-time National Pitch Champion.
All right, now there's the Pitch Queen. So if y'all need a pitch, there you go. Okay.
I'll go after the Pitch Queen.
Oh,
I was trying to go before the Pitch Queen, but it's all good. My name is Kendra Newman Nelson, and I am a lifestyle and legacy coach, AKA the Life Architect. My clients come to me to set a solid foundation so that they can effortlessly transition into their second act. And so I have made many a pivot and many a second act, third, fourth act, because I'm following my dreams. So I have plenty of those dreams, and that means that you have to make some changes. So I came to Sharon to write a book about my family. It's called Lessons in Legacy, the blueprint of the JMC Family Palmetto Society. It is to help people it was really for my family, and it was an heirloom, so I didn't really sell it anywhere but to my family, but it's a hardcover, and it teaches them about our history, the 9 generations that were here on this soil, and how to keep our family reunions going. Then I got the bug because I know I'm a writer inside, and I know that I am a storyteller and a griot. And so my next book, which is coming out on March the 4th, because I want people to march forth into their dreams, into their desires, because God put it there. And if he didn't want you to fulfill it, he wouldn't have given you that dream. So my book is called Dream Aloud: How to Adjust Your Lifestyle and Your Livelihood to Match Your Dreams.
Awesomeness. I can't wait for that book. Thank you, Miss Kendra. Who wants to go next?
Can I please go next?
You sure can, sir.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hi.
I love it. I love it.
Hi, my name is John, and I am an author of 2 books and an actor.
Absolutely.
So my first book is John's Journey to Outer Space. It's about where me and my dog, Ruffles, go on a journey to outer space. And my second book is about where I had to be virtual school because of coronavirus hit Earth. And it was very hard for me because I missed my friends and I couldn't go see them. And it was very hard for me. But my favorite book is the second one because it's like more of a life experience. It's not like it's not more of a dream. It's more of a life experience that I experienced in like 2020, and I'm still experiencing it. Mm-hmm. And it's very hard to go through it. And still some kids are going through virtual school.
Awesome. And how old are you, Mr. John?
I am 9 years old.
Let's give a hand clap, another one for our youth.
VIP kids come from? Where these VIP kids come from? I wouldn't know where these kids. Come on now.
Look, they outliving us, okay? 5 and 9 years old, I wasn't writing nothing, okay? They out here getting coins. Entrepreneurs, honey, in the making, we gotta keep up and catch up.
I'm telling you, John, I'm so excited. Like, oh my God, like the energy that he immediately had. He said, wait, can I go next? So
Right.
his already perseverance and his passion is already like infectious. John, I'm so excited to see what's next for you, brother. Oh my God, I got questions for you specifically for this episode tonight.
And also, I'm working on my third book.
Talk to me, John. Talk to me, John.
You better go ahead and finish your story. What's the name of the third book, John?
The name of the third book is John's Journey to Prehistoric. Like it's like John's going to prehistoric times.
I know. I already read it, and it's an amazing book. It's Reality Meets Jurassic Park, right?
Yes.
Yes. Let's get it. Thank you, John.
You're welcome.
All right. So which one of my adults want to follow John now, honey? Because he already set the stage for the Oscar winning. Okay.
I'll go next.
All right. Come on, police officer.
Hello, everyone. My name is Irene Reyes Smith, and I am the author of Surviving the Badge. Here's my book. I am a 30-year police officer with Metropolitan Police Department, retired. And what inspired me to write my book was I was talking to my god sister, and she was telling me about the books that she published, and I was out on injury. So the Lord said, you have a story in you. And I was like, I said, why would I tell people my business for them to judge me? But the Lord said it wasn't for me. It was to heal individuals, mothers, families. So my book is about me working as a police officer in the community while saving my son that wanted to live a lifestyle in the streets. So I had to do my job all the while saving my son from activities that he was involved in on the streets. So you already know that that's a challenge in itself, because I'm trying to uphold the law while also trying to save his life. So that was a challenge for me, but with the help of Sharon, I wanted to give up many a times, but she pushed me and I kept it going, and I know what God showed me, and I persevered, and I kept going. So now I'm in the process of writing 2 more books. My next books are Women in Blue. I have several women throughout the DMV area that are going to tell their stories of how they persevered through challenges, pain on their police departments. And the other book is called The Badge. And that book is going to be about how the history of the badge came about, how officers use it, whether it's in a good way or bad way. So those are my stories. And my book is in Amazon, Walmart, and Barnes and Noble. So
Sweet.
your copies.
Awesome. Thank you, Miss Police Officer.
Yes.
Please allow me to introduce our MC, our facilitator, our host, my social media person, my everything, honey. He's like getting me all together. While I get him together, please allow the man of the hour, Mr. Ken. Oh, and also my fraternity brother. Got to give a shout out.
What's up?
Right. But definitely, let's give a shout out to Ken. Ken, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Sharon. And as she mentioned, I am a member of Phi Beta Sigma Fraternity Incorporated. And if I'm choppy right now, please let me know. Because I'll do an extra job in editing. So no worries if you're choppy. We're certainly going to make sure at the editing part of it, you're going to be good. But my name is Ken Finesse Media. I am the host of Finesse Media Podcast. But more importantly, tonight, I'm your moderator. And I want to learn and know so much about these authors that we're introduced to, some of the people that's watching tonight and that's chatting. Make sure that if you have a comment for the authors or anything that you have that you want to suggest, make sure that you make that comment in the chat, because we made that chat option available to you so that you can communicate with the panel tonight. So this conversation is great. Sharon, I'm so excited to meet the people that you've been working with for so long. And so Sharon, Pen Legacy is a client of Finesse Media, but more importantly, is a dynamic company, but behind the company is the woman Sharon Monet. So I'm excited to learn about the authors and the people that she's been really having a hand on and making a footprint on with Barnes & Noble. Y'all been mentioning Walmart. I love it, because that's where people can get your books. So we're going to continue this conversation on with the next author. I'm not sure who's next in the queue. I don't want to steal too much of the time because we have had some editing issues or tech issues. So I want to keep it rolling. So who's our next author? Introduce yourself and tell us about your book.
Pam, you can go.
All right. Do I sound any better?
A little better, yes.
A little bit great. I apologize for that. I live in the country, y'all. I am out in the woods. So. But yes, I am Tam Yvonne. And like I was saying prior, I just want to echo everyone when I say that Siobhan is definitely a godsend. Siobhan came into my life many, many years ago, and I had expressed an interest about writing, but then life got in the way, and divorce and relocation and all that good stuff. COVID hit, and as you know, we all didn't know what was happening or what was going on. And that's when I picked my pen back up again and started writing a book that I initially started 10 years prior. And that is my debut book, A Leap of Faith, which is actually a Christian fiction romance novel. And it's basically about a Spelman College alum who graduates school, relocates to Charlotte, North Carolina, finds the love of her life, and loses him to a fatal illness. And she just goes into this emotional trauma, thinking that she'll never find anyone to replace him. But little did she know God had other plans. So that book was a bestseller on Amazon, and the reviews were very grand, and people wanted to hear more about this story, but they didn't want to hear about the main character, Leilani Jordan. They wanted to hear about her best friend, Allison. So I ended up writing the sequel to the book, A Leap of Faith, which is called An Unexpected Love for Christmas. And it actually is based on the story of her best friend, Allison. In the midst of that, I also wrote my third book, which is actually a devotional, which Pen Legacy also published for me, and it's called Be Still, 21 Days of Daily Inspirations on Trusting God to Lead You to a Path of Peace. So those three books have really kept me really busy. So I'm currently in the process of taking a break from writing because I'm pursuing my doctorate degree. So I am pursuing that and working on it. And once I get that done, I have a lot of other manuscripts. So hopefully 2024, I will be coming back out with some more books. But in the meantime, I'm kind of focusing on academia right now.
That's awesome. Thank you.
That is great. And our next author, who do we have?
That's all we have.
That's all we have.
All authors have been introduced and ready for you now, Ken.
That is perfect segue, because I want to take it back to the kids, because immediately as I was traveling, and thank you guys for my setting, excuse me, it's not the best, but really I was excited about the kids, right? David, I'm excited about David. He's in his energy. He came on incredible.
You mean John, Ken?
Is it John?
Yes, we have the kids
John.
is John and Kennedy, honey.
John.
Yes.
Okay, I'm sorry to butcher John, but I really want to go to Kennedy, because Kennedy, I wanted to know, because you are a young author, and congratulations of publishing your book. What made you start your book, and what made you want to become an author at such a young age?
I wanted to become an author because I love reading,
and you were talking about meeting the vice president.
And I was talking about reading the vice president.
Absolutely. And so, Kennedy, I am a dad of 3 boys who don't really love to read. So I would love for you to inspire them to read more. They're not really into the movies or the games and whatnot, and they're not into the books. I have a 2-year-old and a 4-year-old and a 6-year-old, Kendi. And so what inspiration, Kendi, should I be giving my boys to read more? Should I be telling them to get like snacks or whatnot? Or should I tell them to, well, she's shaking her head and she says, no. What advice would you give my 2-year-old, my 4-year-old, or my 6-year-old, Kendi, on how to read more? And what advice would you give or inspiration would you give to encourage them to read more?
What would you tell them?
I love that she's
that
Tell them what you said in the book, whatever you put your mind to.
whenever you can be whatever you want if you put your mind to it
And just focus.
and just focus.
and just focus. Kendi, I love that because I think that's incredible. And I think that's great advice because when they do put their mind to something like candy or playing games, the things that they like to do, they're really persistent in that. And so if they put their mind to really wanting to read and maybe it's also for me as a parent, Kendi, I probably have to do better with trying to read to them each night. Do you think if I read to them more that they'll want to read?
Yes.
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 Yes. Well, Kendi, I think what I'm going to do to inspire them to read is get your book.
What do you say? Thank you.
Thank you.
No, I love it though, Kendi. And thank you so much, Mom. And I want to quickly pivot over to John. John, let me know. What advice would you give my kids to encourage them to read? Because my 2-year-old and 4-year-old and 6-year-old, John, they're boys like you. And they're really kind of stubborn, I must say, John. Do you encourage, do you have siblings, John? How do you encourage other people to read your book or to even get into reading?
I don't have siblings, but I do encourage other people to read by like reading 20 minutes a day. And you got to find the perfect book because you may not like reading other books, but there's maybe one book that you like. It may be about how to build like a house or how to build like how to build like a computer or a phone. There's so many books out there, you don't know which one you would like.
Yeah. What grabbed your attention, John? Because you're young. What grabbed your attention to reading? What gravitated you to want to read and also just like publish a book? Congratulations. What made you want to just publish a book, but also become a reader? What inspired you? Was it any other authors?
Well, my mom, she inspired me because I always read books with her. And I also read books with my aunt. And I read so many books. I've always went to the Abington Free Library, and I just love books. Okay, there's so many different books. I love animated ones.
I love it.
And my favorite book is Walter the Farting Dog.
Talk to me about that book. So what's about that book that inspired you or what excites you about the book?
Well, what excited me is that Walter always became a problem, but Walter always fixed the problem. Well, he fixed the problem by so if there's a big wind. I haven't read them so long that I just can't remember. But the only thing that I remember that Walter did is he always fixed his problems. He never gave up. When they told him to go, he still fixed. There was a big wind, and I think there was an animal getting hurt, and he saved them.
Yeah. And so, Walter, because you are a published author, again, congratulations. I'm sorry, Walter, not Walter, but John. Since you are a published author, John, I want to ask you this question specifically about working with Penn Legacy. And panel, get ready because I'm going to come to you with the same question. But John, you are a published author. What was that experience like as a young author working with Penn Legacy? What was that experience like for you?
It was very good. And I just loved it.
Yeah, yeah. Wasn't it cool to to publish a book with someone who has kids too, so she kind of knows kind of what that experience is like with you being a young adult or a young author or a publisher?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, because she has kids, so she's just not like helping just another kid. She's also helping someone that I'm gonna say for Sharon is her kid. So she sees her son in you, John. Yeah, I'm gonna, John, take it to the panel. So Irene, I hope you're ready because the same question comes to you. What was the experience like working with Penn Legacy, publishing your book?
The experience was really good. Sharon and her team, they are on their game. They are on their game. And even a lot of times when I got stuck, Sharon was there, you know, no matter what time, no matter what hour. And I mean, I felt bad at those certain hours calling her. But she was there without hesitation. I mean, it was just it was a wonderful experience. And I've never imagined that it would have been like that. Never.
Yeah.
Would have imagined.
She's 24 hours. I tell Sharon she doesn't sleep. I know she's a Philly girl, but she's a New York City stereotypical girl where she never sleeps. The girl works all around the clock. And so for 24 hours, like you say, you can call her for advice. Don't feel bad because I'm sure she's willing and ready to help. But someone like, again, who just released a cookbook, Miss Evelyn Braxton, I'm coming to you with the same question because 24 hours, it didn't happen for you. You mentioned it took 10 years to put this book out, but you working with Penn Legacy, it made it all happen. Tell our viewers and tell the people that's watching, what was your experience like working with Sharon Monet, particularly Penn Legacy?
It was just incredible. She had so much patience and she had so much understanding. I could call her at any time, which I did. And did I feel bad? Sometimes yes, sometimes no, because I wanted to get this book out and she wanted me to get this book out. And what she did, she pulled the best out of me. And
Yeah.
I do appreciate that. You don't find many people that will do that for you, you know, and will encourage you like that because I am an older person. However, she kept so much respect and just honor. She's just incredible. I have not met a lady like her.
Now, Sharon,
down for a minute, just a minute, okay? I have not met anyone like her. She's never too busy. And I know sometimes she's tired, but somehow or another, she comes up with a smile and a kind word. And so you really don't mind working with her. Matter of fact, you want to work with her. And I'm just so grateful and I'm so thankful for this young lady.
Yeah. And because, again, just a follow-up question, and for the panel, I'm coming to you with the follow-up as well. But Ms. E, because you have started this cookbook for, again, 10 years and it finally come out and you finally are, again, in Barnes & Noble, shout out to you now on college campuses, everybody. Let's make some noise for that. Yes. Yes, so we don't want to go past that. But because you are now on the shelves at Barnes and Nobles and you're available again online, but what was the experience like? So what was one of those things one of the lessons, the biggest lessons that you learned? Because I think when you were trying to get this book out, it was not with Sharon, but now with Sharon, the book is out. What was one of the biggest lessons that you learned with working with Penn Legacy?
Patience.
There you go.
Patience, you know, things doesn't happen overnight, but when it's time, when it's ready, everything is done in God's own divine order. And I do know that when it's time, God will place people in your life that will take you to the next level. Now, I've been a life coach for many years. I've pastored for many years. So I know about patience and understanding, but this was a different type of calling. And I cannot explain, but I know that it's God. I know that this young lady, and I'm not preaching or anything about kids. Mommy, you just get so excited, you start that. No. But
It's
I
real.
say this.
Tell it.
I know that God is in this young lady's life.
Yeah.
And I do feel this, that ears have not heard, nor eyes have seen what God have in store for this young lady. Because there's no accident that we are all here today.
Right.
It is by the leadings and the divine, it's just made of God.
Yeah.
I just believe that. It is
Yeah.
what it is. So, although this book
Yes.
was, it was difficult, but somehow another,
Yes.
by the leadings of God, this little girl said, listen, she said, I got you.
Yeah.
She said, I'm going to help you. I'm going to help you bring this book out. And she did. And the reason why, and I just have to give this little baby her flowers. The reason why this book is in Barnes and Noble is because of her. It's because of her. Absolutely. This girl fought. This girl worked so hard, day and night, working with me. So I can't lose with the stuff God is using.
Amen.
That is
Absolutely.
this young lady. It is what it is.
With that being said, my next author, what was the experience? What was that lesson that you learned? I don't care who the next author that takes this question, but what was that lesson that you learned while working with Penn Legacy?
I'll go. It's me,
Charlotte.
Charlotte. Yes. So I learned so much, but one thing I learned, I just finished my third book and it was really difficult. It was the hardest book that I've had to write so far. And I've learned that she's in tune with me. When I told her what was going on, she said, I figured something was going on. I figured something was going on with you. So she's a part of me. And something else, I had this epiphany a couple days ago. You know, being in this business, being new in this business, I'm always saying, you know, it's just going to take one person to believe in me. And that one person's going to get my book and it's going to skyrocket and it's going to be so fabulous. If I get that one person to believe in me. And I thought about it. It was like, Sharon, she's that one person that believed in me. She believed in me to say, yeah, let's get these books done. You can do this. You got this. Keep going. What's next? So I'm so thankful for her because she believed in me. And because of that, I believe in myself even more. And there's so many days when I may feel not my greatest self. And I think, hey, you're an author, you know, and people see me. That's what they see. That's how they recognize me when I'm out. I was out the other night. Someone yelled from across the room, hey, when is your third book coming out? Where's the book signing going to be? You know, so it's just brought out a part of me that's been sitting dormant. And I honestly thought that this would be the one dream that I would die with. That would not happen is writing books because I, as I said earlier, I have followed all my dreams and I preach to people, and that's my gift to people, to follow your dreams and do what God put you here to do because they will come true and they will happen. And I thought this was the one thing that would die with me. And if not for the grace of God and him bringing Sharon to me over and over again, I don't have that anymore. When I die, I'm going to have 3 books on the shelf, if not more books on the shelf, and leave a legacy for my family. So like I said, she doesn't just bless one person. She's blessing a legion. She's blessing legions of people and families and making a difference. So I'm just so thankful for her. And I would never go anywhere sorrow.
Yeah. And I know that the other panels want to answer a question, but because Charlotte, you had something that really sparked a word really that sparked in my mind that I want to follow up as a question. So my panel, forgive me. But Charlotte, I want to ask you as the Precious, your photo is coming on the screen. I'm going to come to you next. But Charlotte, I want to know, what's the legacy that you want to leave?
I want to leave the legacy of people knowing that their dreams can come true and that God did give them a gift and that it can happen. It will happen. They just have to believe and have faith and keep going. Even if no one else believes in them, they have to believe in themselves and that it will happen for them. That's my legacy that I want to leave.
I love it. I love it. I love it. And Precious, you're absolutely right away. And I'm coming to you next. So really the
Brother, I
perfect
didn't press you. I'm not pressing you.
no, you're not
I'm
pressing me at
enjoying
all.
this.
No, you're totally fine. You can't press me, but I want to know because you are the perfect pitch queen. So I want to know because you are a perfect pitch queen, but you still got to learn some lessons. So what lessons have you learned while working with Penn Legacy?
My first lesson in working with Sharon Monet and Penn Legacy, hashtag Penn Legacy for life. Sharon told me how to put respect on my name and make sure others put respect on my name. When I came to working with Sharon, honestly, she'll tell you this, the truth is, I wasn't too long removed from being homeless and an alcoholic, right? I had a big life before. People know that I had a very big life, Shark Tank, all that kind of stuff. But when we were on that phone, and I never forget, she wrote a story on me for CNN in 2015. I was Entrepreneur of the Month for my former company. And, you know, I'm just talking to her. You know, a lot of people came, oh, you know, we help you publish your book. I'm like, I ain't just trying to publish no book. First of all, there was no respect on my name. People, you know, when you become homeless and everything, people don't want to associate with you. So I had given up on my dreams. And so when Charlotte said what you said, I said, oh, no, she showed me how to put some respect on my name. And so, you know, and she told me I had 2.5 months to write my book. And I'm going to tell y'all, not too many people check me. I want her to check me. I look for her to check me, right? And she'll tell you, I look for it. I'd be like, I'm not gonna fight with her. That's a woman who knows what she's doing. And so writing that book in 2.5 months, having her check me all the time, it was rough. But it got done. And when we put it out, I thought 2 people would buy it. I promise y'all, I thought 2 people would buy it. And Tiger one called me, she said, you're number 1 on Amazon. And she said, hour by hour, you're still number 1. And I was like, what? And I remember letting Sharon, I was like, did you know? I said, I was number 2. And then before we knew it, you know, Forbes wanted to write an article on my book. That's earned media. I didn't, what? And then, you know, 4-time book of the year finals for my first book, Bad Bees and Power Pitches for Women Entrepreneurs and Speakers Only. Then men started buying the book like, what? Fear of missing out. I said, that's what the pitch master does. And putting respect on my name, right? People who didn't want to mess with me before, oh, you got a best-selling book? What, you in Times Square? Get a billboard in Times Square? Forbes read about you? So then it gave me this strength to go out there and dream big and ask bigger. And before I knew it, here's book number 2, book number 3. Now we're on book number 4. Places that people who didn't even want to put no respect on my name are now in my inbox. How did you do it? I'm like, it's because of women like her. And I will always put her out there like, yeah, I got people that say they can publish your book, but I don't know too many people who can help you get to bestseller status and not sell it at a small amount. My books have been at full price, and she'll tell you, we've been doing that. And the great thing about Sharon is I didn't know my books were sold at Harvard. I spoke at Harvard, spoke at Columbia, teach at Babson College now. When it was because I was homeless and an addict years ago, people think that's just my entire story. And so the things I'm learning from her now, like even though I teach at Babson, I never thought my books would be in their bookstore. Yes. I'm speaking there at the end of September, and it's going to be in their library. It's gonna they're going to have an event with me, and I was thinking it's because what she put in us. Like my first book, I don't think I knew what I was doing. I was just happy for 2 people, and now it's like she is teaching all these things, but there's still things that we don't know. And I'm on my 4th book. She's still dropping tea on me. There's no way I became the killer pitch master without her, and focusing on pitching and not motivational speaking or any of those things put me in a lane by myself. So I don't compete with Les Brown, Tony Robbins, Lisa Nichols. I don't compete with them at all, because pitching is what I do. And years ago, I knew I was gonna, be in a talk show, television show, whatever. Never thought until they came to me and said, we want you on a show. And I couldn't believe it. And I went from just being a pitch trainer to the co-host. So that is what it's like to work with a queen who knows how to mastermind you into the right places and package position and pitch me the right way. And so finally, today is August 25th. This is a big day. September 1st, I walked out of homelessness. September 1st, 2018, I walked out of homelessness for good. September 1st, 2022, I graced the stage at BMW. And they already bought hundreds of my book, and they told me to bring more copies, because I get, after those are are given out. I get to sell all of my books there. And so I'm excited by all of that. Lifetime Achievement Award in Atlanta, September 11th. And when I tell you, I would not be where I am today if she didn't tell me to put respect on my name. And a book can change your life. And it's because I worked with her. She didn't do me dirty. And whenever something happens, and Sharon will tell you, I'll call her. She's one of the top 3 people I call when something big happens. Hey, this what happened. She's like, I expect that. That's what I love about her. Put respect on my name.
Listen, Sharon is a Cancer. I tell her all the time. One of the things I love is that she's going to say it like she means it, and she's going to be unapologetically honest. So that's one of the things that you're definitely going to get while working with Sharon. And under your brand of Pen Legacy, your brand is going to be trusted, but it's going to be unfiltered. And that's what you need. You don't want somebody to be giving you, yeah, that's cool. I like that. Go ahead, girl. You want somebody to tell you like it is. And so I want to ask you a question, Pitch Queen, before I go to the next panelist. But I want to know, because you are a Pitch Queen and people are watching this and they want to know, what is the one mistake people make when they're pitching anyone?
Just because I'm a pitch master, I'm just going to act up. Number 1, they're boring. Number 2, they don't know their audience, so they're just speaking to anybody, which means you're speaking to nobody. And number 3, they're trying to sound like the gurus and not sounding like themselves. So be authentic and transparent. People love you. I was speaking with one tooth in my mouth. Am I right, Sharon? I was speaking with one tooth in my mouth and still being booked and busy and paid around the world. So I came in it because she taught me some very valuable things. Just because I'm the pitch queen doesn't mean I can't learn from the master.
Yeah. And also Precious Williams. I don't know if you mentioned it and I didn't hear it, but also I want to make sure of it. But let people know how they can get your book.
Yes, you can get my book. I just saw that Sharon put it into the chat. You can get my book at Barnes & Noble. You can get my book at Amazon, Books A Million. You can also get it on my website, www.perfectpitchgroup.com. You can also get my other books, perfectpitchesbyprecious.com. But go to where she told you first, because there's a study to everything that she did. Promise.
There you go. There you go. Precious, thank you so much for joining us tonight. And again, look forward to seeing more of you. I am now a fan. You see, we follow each other on Facebook. So I'm liking it hard, all the stuff that you're doing, because I am a fan and I've been introduced to you by Sharon Monet. So thank you so much for being in my life and being a pitch queen, because I might need some advice because I'm out here pitching people too. Wait, we have to stop. I'll see you next week. Next Monday, tune in, same time, next Monday, right here on this channel. Make sure you tune in. Next week is going to get even better. Tune in next week for part 2. Pen Legacy presents Celebration of Authors, Sharon Monet. We'll see you next week.